A common theme that I find in many of my past life regression sessions is around self love. Now, living in a lack of self love can manifest in many different ways in the lives of my clients, whether that be through health concerns or attracting lack of love stories into their lives to reinforce the inner belief that they aren't worthy of love. There's a few core concepts that my clients' higher selves have collectively told my clients to help them break down barriers to indoctrinated self hatred. There is no good or bad. This one was a hard one to grasp. I remember earlier in my spiritual journey, my first thought was, what about the people that unalive other people? There has to be consequences for that, right? Religions indoctrinated us all to believe that if we aren't good, there'll be consequences of hellfire. And it's programmed us to hate ourselves for our sins. Except, numerous hypnotists have regressed thousands of people to understand that when we die, you're not on trial with Sky Daddy for your wrongdoings. In fact, the only judge is you. So you're the one that's sitting in the judgment chair. How is hatred not justified? Well, that's a tough one if you believe that you are your body and that you are your current human experience. Because guess what? You've had many different lives. In fact, you've had so many lives that you progress to a place where you're having to learn the hardest foundational lesson that there is: unconditional love. So your soul has lived in many different bodies with many different DNA makeups that have impacted that particular human life very differently. And each life, as a soul, you have a whole different set of rules to learn to master the lessons of that lifetime. But those lessons, who chooses those? You did. You chose every detail of your current life to teach you lessons. And if you're living in self hatred, that is one of them. The only judgment that will be taking place after this life is over is on how well you were able to learn that lesson. And depending on your progression, whether or not it will be necessary for you to repeat in another life. Now, hating your human avatar is pretty common, as you can see from the world around us. But you can remove the element of thinking that the mistakes that you make put you on a tally stake of good or bad, and makes it a little bit easier to take the heat off of yourself to accept who you are.